Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Steelers Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Dave Ribeiro from SteelersSanctuary.com. And this is my co-host, David Korov. Dave, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man?
A little bit of news before we get started. Brian Flores, since the last time we talked, has finally gotten hired. He's the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings. That's a good landing spot for him, right? That's a good team.
Yeah. I mean, that team's defense needs a lot of things fixed. So I think that was a good hire by them to pick him. I think he's going to square them the fuck away. And you'll see their defense have a lot better year next year.
Yeah, it can only go up, right? There's only one way to go with that team is up because they were really bad.
Yeah. I mean, they're the funnest team to watch in the NFL because they'd be either down or up by 20. And that the next thing you know, they roar back or their defense was one or the other. It was constant. But yeah, he's going to be tremendous for them.
Yeah, I think so. That's a great hire for them. I mean, that defense was horrendous at times, so he'll straighten them out. I mean, you think about it, Mike Tomlin did him a solid by hiring him last year because Brian Flores was just about unhireable at that point, suing the league and everything else. And now
the whole team did him a favor because the players were talking him up so much that they put him, right there to the front row seat, man, to get interviewed by all these teams, whether it be for head coach or defensive coordinator positions. So the Steelers did him a big favor.
Yeah, Tomlin threw him a lifeline because he wasn't.
Absolutely.
I remember the talk was he'd never coach again after suing the league, and his reputation got, rehabbed big time because he did a good job with the Steelers. Solid guy. He's got Tomlin back in him. So he owes a lot to Mike Tomlin and the Steelers for sure. And he did good stuff for them too. I mean, he helped out the linebackers and the run defense quite a bit last year.
And Kenny Pickett.
Apparently Kenny Pickett too. Who's the happiest man in Pittsburgh now? Austin. Now that he can finally take some credit for the defense or share it with Mike Tomlin anyway. Another one, this bugged me, Dave. I'm telling you. The Ravens hired Todd Monken as their offensive coordinator. I'm not going to lie, this went right up my ass.
Wow.
He was one of my favorite guys, offensive coordinator candidates. I wanted the Steelers to hire this guy. They stand pat. We have Matt Canada, and the freaking Ravens get a really good offensive coordinator. It pisses me off.
I don't blame you. I'm pissed off about the enemy. That's what I'm pissed off about.
Yeah, Bieniemy would have been another one. I'm not the biggest Bieniemy fan, but to be honest, he's got to be better than Canada by a mile. He's got to be better.
I wish they would have been like, we're not making any decisions on that stuff till after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I really wish they would have just been like, look, we're not making any decisions until after the Super Bowl. Then we'll decide what we're going to do with our coaching staff. But they decided to, maybe that was the plan all along. I don't know if they ever really contemplated getting rid of him or not.
No,
it kills you when you see these guys now go to these other teams. It's like, you really telling me you wouldn't have wanted to be with the Steelers? Like, come on.
Oh, if given a choice between like Bieniemy in particular, the Commanders of the Steelers, that's a no-brainer.
They don't even know who their quarterback is. Like,
and that franchise is a wreck.
Right.
Of course.
All that turmoil with him and everything been going on with the owner. Like, I really do think the Steelers could have had him. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. The same with Monken. Would you rather have Kenny Pickett or, who's going to be the quarterback for the Ravens?
Maybe Lamar. Like,
I don't think it's going to be Lamar. I really don't. I think it's going to be.
That's going to get uglier before it gets better, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a shit show, and I think maybe hiring Monken is a sign that they're moving on because he's more of a. I don't want to say passing, but he is. He's more of a passing coordinator.
Well, remember, they made the comment that Lamar was going to have a say in who the offensive coordinator is going to be. He didn't have any. They just went and got this guy. He had nothing to do with Lamar whatsoever. So to me, that's like a symbolization, really. Like, oh shit, maybe they're like, no, maybe Lamar's not going to be the future of this team. We're going to move on.
Yep. It's funny, on a side note, I did a post about likely Steelers offensive coordinators if they fired Matt Canada. 3 of the guys I picked are with the Carolina Panthers right now. I picked Frank Reich. He's the head coach. I picked Deuce Staley. He's some kind of senior assistant head coach now. And I had put down this guy, Thomas Brown, and he's the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers now.
Wow.
So all those guys are on Carolina. It's weird. And then I had Shane Day. He's an offensive assistant with the Texans. And then I had Todd Monken, who went to the Ravens. And the last one I had is Byron Leftwich, who I believe is unemployed right now.
I got a feeling he's going to end up with the Steelers.
I think that's possible too, in some form or fashion. I'm not a Byron Leftwich fan. I just put him on my list because of his connections with the Steelers. I think you're right. I think he will end up.
I think
another Tomlin lifeline, because
he could end up being the, I don't know, assistant head coach.
Yeah, passing call, whatever you want to give.
Yeah, whatever
you want to give him.
Yeah,
I could totally see that. I mean, I just read today because I was looking through this and I didn't know what happened to Leftwich. They definitely hired a new assistant offensive coordinator in Tampa, and Leftwich is just right now just dangling in the wind, I guess.
Yeah,
you're right. I agree 100%. He could end up with Pittsburgh.
I got a feeling.
I saw something. I think it was I forgot who posted it, but they have right now the Steelers have the fewest coaches on the payroll of any team in the league.
Yep. Yeah.
Because
they've lost 3. I thought I saw somewhere they said they're down 3 now.
The defensive line coach retired. We should have mentioned that. John Mitchell, right? He retired. They lost Brian Flores.
Yep. I'm trying to think of the third.
I can't think of the third either. But they've lost a few guys. So the Steelers don't have a big coaching staff to begin with. We know they're kind of on the cheap side when it comes to coaching. We've discussed that 1,000 times.
It kind of shows.
Yeah. You think?
Yeah, a little bit.
That's funny. All right. We've been doing the State of the Steelers series here. We started out, it was a week ago now, maybe longer than that. I forgot. We did the quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers last time. We're going to do offensive line, tight ends, and special teams this week. Let's start with the offensive line. I've been going on a theory all along that the starting 5 last year is going to be the starting 5 come September, week 1. I don't know how you feel about that. Do you think they're going to make a change?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I went and looked up all the offensive linemen that are under contract right now at the Steelers. You know, there's only 8 under contract right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds about right. Right.
And it's only Chooks and Moore that are tackles that are on the roster right now.
Yep. You know, we talked about the free agents. Those two.
Yep.
But
I didn't realize that many were gone. Like I didn't. So in my head, I'm like, they're definitely going to draft an O-lineman. They're definitely drafting one.
Yeah.
If not to start, at least for depth. Like, I mean, I figured they're going to sign some on the cheap, of course.
Yes.
But like,
that's going to happen.
That's kind of dangerous. Like, but it's also because of how many guys that are gone now. So they're gonna have to draft one. Whether it's early or late, I don't know, but they're gonna draft one. You know, I almost thought in my head, because I just think about this stuff, I almost wondered if Chooks would be a cap casualty and they would draft one, and would they flip Moore to right tackle? Because one side you usually do better than the other. I mean, so I wondered if maybe they would, like, say they draft, you know, my dream, Skorinsky. Say they draft, right? And if they cut Chooks, that saves them a shit ton of money.
Yeah, it does. He's one of the bigger cap pits that no one talks about because they don't have a replacement for him right now. That's the problem.
Like, so my thing is that he's going to make a lot of money this year, right? Let me see here, just because I have it right here. Okay, so
what is it, like $8 million cap saving?
Cap dollars, $13 million.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think his play garners that? I don't think.
No, I mean, for tackles, it's kind of cheap.
Yes,
you know, like starting tackles make a lot of money.
Right, and I get that. So, I really do. Like, I was thinking the same thing. It's like for tackles, that makes sense, that money. But like for the play you're getting from him, I'm not sure it's worth that. So I'm saying is that, do you think Moore could be a better right tackle and have Skorinsky at, say, left tackle, or any of those left tackles out there in the draft, right? Do you think that they could do that? Could they draft one and then flip Moore to right tackle and drop Chooks to save money?
They could do that for sure. That it's an option. What they could also
do, because I am I crazy or stupid? Like, it's just something that popped in my head.
No. They could definitely do that. They could absolutely do that. They also could draft a left tackle like Skoronski and kick more inside to guard and push Dotson out. That would be my preferred route.
It's one or the other. They either want to upgrade on the line in general,
yes,
or they want to save money, like one or the other, and that was what kicked in my head. I was just like, ooh, they could go this route. Maybe that's crazy thinking. I don't know. But what you're saying is feasible too.
Yeah. A Skoronski or a Broderick Jones or somebody falls to 17.
Yeah.
It would be a crime not to draft him.
Right.
Dave, it would be a crime. I mean, let's be honest. These two tackles, pretty good run blockers, but horrendous pass blockers. They're going to get Kenny Pickett killed sooner rather than later. He's already had what? 2 concussions last year?
Yeah.
So they can't keep doing this. They have to upgrade. Will they is another question, because like I said, I've been going on this theory the whole offseason. I think they're pretty happy with this line. I think they think these guys are going to continue to improve and they don't have to do anything. They can address other positions. I think it would be a mistake. I really do. I mean, and then you got to look at center. We talked about this on our last podcast with the other guys. Center is something, maybe not this year, but down the line, they're going to have to upgrade at center. Dotson, you'd like to upgrade on Dotson because I don't know what to do with Dotson. I think it was 11 penalties last year.
It was bad. Yeah, it was double-digit penalties.
Yeah, when he's on, he's good, but when he's not on,
he's a great run blocker.
He really is.
Excellent.
And that's what you want from your guard, right? I mean, he's not even a bad pass blocker either. It's just the penalties and the stupid things he does. It's just I don't know. I don't know how they feel. I know Ron on our last podcast was kind of, and he thought that they were kind of down on him. I don't know what to say.
Ron's pretty adamant that they're going to go get a guard. He's pretty adamant about that. So I'd
rather, like I said, my thing would be draft a tackle and kick Dan Moore inside because he's a hell of a run blocker too. It's just his pass protection is just awful. I was looking at the free agents. They're not going to spend big money on a tackle. A tackle is going to cost them a fortune. I mean, Mike McGlinchey's a free agent. He's really good, but that Spot Track had him at 14.5 per season for his market value. I think he could even get more than that. So they're not going to spend that kind of money. They're going to do bargain basement guys like they always do.
Yeah.
They'll get a couple backups in free agency.
They already did their free agent spree on O-line last year. So they're not going to do it this year. So, I don't see that coming. I mean, if they're going to get a quality lineman, it's going to cost them money. They don't got the money to do it right now.
Yeah. But not for that position when they have 2 starters that is already.
Right.
So they're not doing that. The draft is pretty deep at tackles. We talked about Skoronski. We talked about Broderick Jones. That guy, DeJuan Jones from Ohio State with the wingspan. He's 6'7", 380.
Yeah.
And he can freaking hold a car in his hands, for Christ's sake. Ridiculous. He's Darnell Wright from Tennessee is good. A couple other guys, Jalen Duncan from Maryland and Matthew Bergeron from Syracuse.
Was it Antoine Harrison, him too?
Anton Harrison from Oklahoma. That's another one.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good draft for tackles. I hope that they don't pass up on one. As far as guards, we talked about Osiris Torrance a couple times. He's good. John Michael Schmitz, the center, he's pretty good. Even this kid, Cody Mock, I don't know if you heard of him. He had a pretty good senior role. He played every position at the practices.
Where's he at? Is it South Dakota State or North Dakota State?
Dakota State, yeah.
North Dakota State. Okay, yeah. I know exactly.
That's a guy you draft, and that's like a Swiss Army knife. He can play every position if you need him.
And they say he'll be around there in the 3rd round. So
yeah, 2nd or 3rd round. So that's a possibility as well.
I could see it. Like you said, Swiss Army knife. I mean, that's kind of what they like. They like to have those guys.
They love that
really
stuff, right?
So
they do. We talked about it a lot last offseason. They love their multi positional guys.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these. Free agents on the O line, and
it's either super
Irving,
expensive.
Carolina. I don't. Austin Blythe. That's a center. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they could afford any of these guys.
I mean, Orlando Brown's the big ticket, but you're not going to spend 17, $18 million on a tackle. It's not going to spend that kind of money.
Eric Fisher's back out there again.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be a bad swing tackle. He's a veteran guy. Bring him in. He'd be cheap. That's the kind of guy you look.
Run it back with Jesse Davis.
That kind of player is what we're going to get. That's the type of player in free agency anyway.
Jason Peters. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see them. They're not going to be able to pay the kind of money it's going to take to get a decent
they can put money into. They really can't. Unless, like you said, if they decide to cut, help me out, Okafor saves them about $8 million, then maybe they can put that towards a tackle. But I still don't see that happening. We both agree they need to upgrade at some point, either, or at least get depth in the draft.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I saw they only got 8 players signed right now to play the O-line, I'm like, and literally the only tackles they have is the left tackle and the right tackle. Yeah. That's it. I was like, you guys need to sign people like now.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a couple cheap tackles. All right, tight end.
Let's see. That's why I think they're going to draft one.
Yeah, they have to.
They're leaving that wide open to draft one.
Yeah,
maybe
at
draft.
Some point.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen.
I wouldn't even mind 2, to be honest with you. Take one earlier and then maybe a flyer and one of the 4th or 7th round picks.
Well, here's my thing. Like I was saying you guys about that strategy last episode. Man, if you draft a tackle early and then in that 4th round, one of those top centers is there for the taking.
Yeah.
Take him.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
100%. Like that's my thing.
Like we talked about, hopefully Andy Weidel has some influence on this draft and they start drafting trench guys again and get back to basics. We'll see. All right. Next up on our State of the Steelers is tight end. Pat Freiermuth, obviously, he's entrenched in it. He's the number 1 tight end. I was thinking about this a lot today. Everyone thinks they're going to re-sign Zach Gentry. I can't speak English today. Maybe, do you think they'd upgrade at this position? You think about it, when the offense really took off is when they went to 2 tight ends. They traded Chase Claypool, stopped doing the 3 wide receiver as much, went 2 tight ends, the running game opened up, and that's when everything started clicking. So it got me to thinking, do they upgrade over Zach Gentry, spend a little money or a high draft pick?
No, because they think they have something with Connor Hayward.
But he's not.
He's not. I know, but I mean,
especially not a blocker.
He's got hands. He could be that. He could be that Matt Spaeth guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not fast. He's not, really, really athletic, but he's got great hands, and he probably blocks better than Muth does, right? So that's what I think.
I hope not, but you might be right.
I'm just telling you. That's Steelers right there. If they think they got a guy that's just solid, all around solid, not elite, not great, but solid. If they're 2 tight end sets, they're gonna go with Pat and they're gonna go with Connor. They're gonna go. Why would they spend? They don't have the money right now. They can't. They got to free it up.
Tight ends don't make quite as much. You can get like somewhat of a bargain, I guess. I looked at the free agents. OJ Howard kind of sticks out. He's a good blocker. Maybe not the greatest receiving tight end. He won't cost you too much. He's definitely better than Gentry. Blocking wise, especially.
Let me look right now.
Jesse James is out there. You can bring Jesse James back.
There's Mike Gesicki. I don't know how much he might cost.
He's a receiver. He's not.
I'm just reading the list here. Dalton Schultz, he'll cost a lot of money. Yeah, he's probably one of the top ones on the. Ingram's going to cost more money because he had a good year in Jacksonville. Austin Hooper.
Not bad.
Again. Robert Tonyan from, he's, like I said, if you're looking for an upgrade, you mean a better than Connor or better than both Connor and Muth?
Both, but no, not better than Muth. Muth is the guy.
Because I was going to say, Muth to me is the 6th best tight end in the league.
That's pretty good.
My ranking of him. I think he's the 6th best tight end in the league.
He's top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
You don't have to upgrade over Muth.
Absolutely. But if you're looking just for an upgrade over Connor Hayward.
Who's the kid that was in Cincinnati last year that used to play for the Ravens? He's on the free agent list.
Not Max Williams.
No.
I know who you're talking about. Is he on the list? Is he a free agent?
He's on that list. Yeah, he's a free agent.
See, I was right though. I did see Max Williams. He is a free agent.
Anyway, I like him, but I don't know how much he's going to cost. I don't know if they had because he had a pretty good year with the Bengals. So
not Mercedes Lewis.
No.
Adam Shaheen. I remember I was big on Adam Shaheen in the draft.
I saw him too. I wouldn't mind him. He'd be cheap as a flyer to see if he could play or not.
Not OJ Howard. Jordan Atkins.
Hayden Hurst.
Oh, you said last year. I thought you meant okay.
No,
so this year, yeah, Hayden Hurst was the guy, which would be a great ad. But
he'd be a good upgrade.
He's going to. Well, he might not because he was injured. He was injured this season. He didn't play a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't put up like a lot of stats when he did play. You may have something there, but I just don't see them.
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be like under $5 million a year guy. It'd have to be a cheaper guy.
I'm sorry. I think they got something with Connor Hayward. He made great catches. I think that's going to be their guy with Muth. I really do think so.
But he can't play in line. He's got to be like a receiver or fullback. He can't. He's too small to block on the line. I don't see him.
I'm just telling you.
I agree with you. I think the Steelers love him. I agree with you. I think the Steelers love him. I definitely do. And actually, to be honest, I've said this before. He played a lot better than I thought he would. I had completely dismissed him.
I did too.
And he made
I was pissed as hell when they drafted him. I was like, "We serious?" But
as far as the draft goes, keep an eye out on Darnell Washington, Georgia. I don't know if you've seen him or heard of him at all.
Well, I knew when we were going to get tight ends, I knew you were going to bring him up because I've seen your mock drafts with him. In there.
They call him like an extra tackle. That's how good he blocks. Like he's a serious blocker. He's 6'7".
But I thought he's a really good receiver too.
He's a good receiver also. 6'7", 260, I think he is. We'll see what he
weighs.
No
wonder he's going high up in the draft. Yeah. I mean, is he the top rated tight end in the draft?
No, he's not. He's like
really
the kid from Notre Dame's first, Michael Mayer.
Oh, that's right. Mayer is number one.
Now this kid Luke Musgrave is moving up the
I saw that
the things too. He's good too. He's like athletic, 6'5", fast.
That's not the guy from Alabama. There was another one.
Oregon State, I think, or something.
Oregon State. Okay.
Yeah. So, but keep an eye on that. I think he's going to catch the Steelers' eye. I mean, he blocks, which they love, and he can catch. Think about him as a red zone. He's basically Zach Gentry, only a much better blocker, like 1,000 times better blocker. So that's a guy to keep an eye on in the draft.
But do you think they'd spend a high draft capital on a tight end when they got Muth already? Like I don't.
If he's still there at 49, I think they take him
at
with their
49.
second round pick. Their second round pick. Yeah. Not the 32 that they got from the Bears, but the other one. I mean, you think about it. If you're going to run a lot of two tight end, why not upgrade there?
Yeah, but my thing is well, for me, it just depends on what they've taken already. I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, for me, the problem is it's still early in the season, so they haven't made any moves yet. Because my stance is still defense and left tackles.
Yeah. So, I mean, they got to address something in free agency, right? They got to pick off one of these positions.
I don't know which one's going to be, but
whether they re-sign, some of their own guys or whatever, they have to fill. If they re-sign Sutton, then cornerback maybe isn't such a big deal, but
bring back Spillane, baby, linebacker.
Yeah, I was going to say that, and that's why I hesitated. Say bring back Spillane, but I don't want to. I don't even speak it into existence.
Him and Miles Jack together. Let's go. Yep.
Oh, yeah, you caught me there. That's exactly what I was thinking. I didn't want to say it.
I could read your mind. Like I knew you're. Yeah. Hey, I know. Like
or Ogunjobi. If they bring him back, then maybe they don't need to tackle as much.
Here's the thing. All the guys on the fucking radio and they're all talking about how Ogunjobi is going to cost a lot of money. The market value is saying different.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I'm fascinated to see what he gets because I thought he was worth a lot more too. And I saw the same thing you did at Spot Track. What was it, like $4 million a year or something like that?
3.4 million or something like that. I was like, that's it? I'd bring him back.
Low. I mean, he didn't do much last year. He was injured. Yeah.
But when he was healthy, he did well.
No, I would love to have him back at 3.4. That'd be doing cartwheels. That'd be a great signing.
So yeah, I would if that's the kind of money it takes. That's it. I'm bringing him back. There ain't no doubt in my fucking mind.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's move on to special teams. I heard a rumor, and I can't remember where I heard it from, that the Steelers might bring in a kicker to kind of push Boz a little bit.
And a punter.
And a punter, too. We'll get to the punter.
Yeah.
But there's some grumblings that the Steelers weren't 100% happy with Boswell last season. He missed some kicks. He missed quite a few kicks.
Conveniently after getting his big deal.
Yeah. So, obviously, we all think Boz is going to be the kicker in 2023, but you never know sometimes.
For fun.
Look up free agent kickers?
No. Well, first I want to look up where the hell is it at? I want to look up his contract. Let's look that.
He's the second highest kicker, right? Behind Baltimore.
He's going to make $5.6 million this year.
But what's the dead cap? Did they save anything by cutting him?
Cap is 5.6. It just says 5.6. That's his cap hit.
Yep. So, but if they cut him, does it show you dead cap there?
No, for some reason it's not showing it.
Because if it's not going to save them much, they're not going to.
Yeah, it's not saying. Because I'm just looking up the roster in general, but it just shows his deal, and it's 5.6.
I can definitely see them bringing a kicker in to push him, though.
What if I click on him? Let me click on him and see what it says.
I got it right here, I think.
Nope, I got it too. We're good. I got it. Let's see. Base salary 2.7 mil, signings 1.6, roster 1.3, cap hit 5.6 mil. 5,640,000. Dead cap, it's 6.4 million.
So they don't save anything. They actually lose money by cutting him. So he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're not cutting him.
He's not going anywhere.
They actually do lose money.
Yeah, they do. So yeah. Chris Boswell, kicker, Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, if he really craps the bed in training camp, maybe, but
look, you got to remember he was injured too.
Yeah.
So they're gonna actually, that to it. So they're gonna keep him, and I have faith in him. He's a really good kicker. I just think he wasn't healthy.
I do too, and I'm not sure. I wish I could remember who reported it, but there was some grumblings that they weren't.
I remember you saying it. You said it. You read somewhere that they were going to bring somebody in for him and Hart.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt to light a fire under his ass.
No, he's the kicker. Yeah,
exactly. As far as punter, they need to bring somebody in. They have to. They can't give Presley Harvin another free ride, another season of a free. You just can't do it.
If my man gets 3 seasons,
right, without
as a punter,
unchallenged,
as a punter, like
I mean,
yeah,
come on.
You see how I act about the kicker. The punter is an even bigger joke. Like I'd have said, and look, I'm not trying to be mean. The kid had a rough first year. Like I get it, but like, I'm sorry. In the off season, I'd have been bringing in 3 fucking punters,
of course,
and I'd have been like, "Let's go." What is it? 4 dogs, 1 bone.
Let's see. Exactly.
Let's see who's the best. And you're the hit. You're it, buddy. Because you see like how good he can be.
Yes. So inconsistent.
But it's never consistent. Yeah. It's never consistent. And there is important games where you can't have that shit happen with him consistently.
Yep.
So.
And I think you brought it up before. I think they're trying to save face because they drafted this guy.
It's always that way. They're
trying to save face. All right,
Kendrick
2 seasons
Green,
you save face.
Kendrick Green's still on the team.
Yes.
Never saw a down this year.
No.
Like because he's a draft pick. They're gonna try to save face with that. Period.
I think you're right 100% in this case with Presley Harvin. I think that's the only reason he's lasted this long because they went out on a limb. Nobody drafts punters. Very few teams do. So you kind of
very unheard of.
Yeah. So you're going out on a limb drafting a punter, saying this guy's a draftable guy. If you cut him, you look like an idiot because you blew the pick, which they did.
The worst special teams draft pick I've ever seen, I think, was Tampa Bay, and they took that Agayu or whatever, that kicker.
Yeah, the kicker. Yeah.
Wow, that blew up in their face.
Yeah, big time.
But kickers drafting kickers and punters.
They're a dime a dozen.
I don't get it. Snappers. Remember when they drafted that long snapper in the 6th round too? He's like, "What are you doing?"
I just don't know.
They just make.
I just don't know.
That shit's so stupid.
You're throwing away picks.
Yes.
Draft some linebacker who can play special teams for 4 years for you. At least don't waste the pick. Right?
Yeah, no, it's just frustrating to see that shit, but whatever.
Another position they need to upgrade is the returner. I mean, Steven Sims started out great, and he steadily nosedived the rest to the point where he was almost, it was a heart attack every time.
He had that one bad game, and since then was never the same.
Confidence was shot, right? It was just gone.
So they can't find one to save their lives.
No, they can't.
And it's been like this for years.
Since
Stephon Brown. Brown. There was the other guy, Stephon
Logan. Yep.
He was good too, right? That's the last one I remember. Besides Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown was
Stephon Logan.
And he stopped returning punts 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So they've been.
They had that Spencer kid they should have kept in. They cut him.
Yes, they should have.
Kept Ben's best friend. And
that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. So hopefully they'll, and you can get a punt returner like an undrafted free agent or later in the draft, a guy that specializes in returning punts and kicks. Just bite the bullet. Don't draft a punter this year. Draft a freaking returner and let's fix this one problem for once. Yeah. They have 4 key special team guys as free agents: Derek Watt, Marcus Allen, Miles Boykin, and Benny Snell. They're going to have to bring a couple of those guys back. Hopefully Snell and Boykin at least. Those are 2 guys you would want.
I think they will. They'll bring him back, probably.
Derek Watt, what do you think? Is he back? Is he not back? He had his best year as a Steeler.
I don't think so. Look,
it depends on how much money. Will he play minimum?
Look, it is asinine to pay a guy $5 million.
No, they're not going to pay him that anymore. That's gone.
That you give the ball 9 times a season to.
That's
like, come on. Like, no.
The question is, will he play for the vet minimum and come back? If not,
he needs to take a family discount. Like no.
Take the Watt family discount.
Yeah.
Go ask TJ for a
I was gonna say, ask him for a loan. Yeah, like come on.
So yeah, I mean the Steelers generally have had good special teams. They have some work to do this offseason though to upgrade a few positions.
Yeah, if they struggle, Danny Smith needs to go.
Yeah. I kind of thought this might be his last year, but I guess he's still coming.
I thought so too, but apparently not.
All right, that takes care of our state of the Steelers for this week. We'll finish up, probably do the whole defense next time we're together and wrap this up because we're getting into the offseason. It's almost free agency, so we got to wrap this up. I thought to finish off the pod, we'd go over Todd McShay's mock draft. He's one of my favorite draft guys. It's him and Daniel Jeremiah. I like both those guys. These are guys that are plugged into the league. They talk to a lot of people. They know what's going on. It's good to go over their drafts just to see what people are going, where the players are going, how they're slotted, who's in the first round, who's not in the first round. So I thought it would be fun to just go through his mock draft. He's got a trade. He's got the Colts trading up to number 1, which I think could probably happen. Everyone seems to like this Bryce Young. That would worry me. That would worry me. I saw today that he could be 5'10", 180 when they measure. That's small, bro. That's my size. That's like an inch taller than me. I might weigh more than that.
All it's going to take is one linebacker coming across that field, does not give a shit whether or not he's penalized, and that dude's going to get.
I know.
We're going to say Tua. He's going to get Tua.
Yeah. And I know Serena loves him, but that's risky for the number 1 pick.
Whew, man.
He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but that would scare me. He's got Houston Texans number 2. We won't go through everyone. We'll hit the key ones. CJ Stroud. I like CJ Stroud. I think he played great against Georgia in the playoff game.
He did really
well. Played well.
So I could see that. I could see that being their pick. I could.
Arizona Cardinals next. Will Anderson. He's top 3 in almost every mock draft. The kid's good.
Yeah, he's good.
And our guy, Jalen Carter, going 4 to the Bears. There's no way the Steelers could get him. There's just no way. We talked about it on the last pod.
Drop some more bad information, like information. He's not a good character guy.
Stop making stuff up.
Maybe we should.
Sending it out there.
We got to find a guy we can put a gas mask on that he's inhaling weed like they did that one dude.
That guy
was a projected first rounder, Tunsil. Yeah. And what did he fall to because of that shit?
It was the late and first round. He was like a top 10 lock.
Yeah,
and
he was top 10. And somebody cost. Oh, dude, I'd have been fucking hot.
What a moron! you almost can't draft him just because he's that stupid for doing that.
I know, but
he
at the
cost
same
himself
time,
millions.
Yeah, but who knocked him out though, bro? Like,
Yeah, that's
who
the worst
took
part,
that
right?
video and
That's the
leaked?
worst
I'd be
part.
so pissed.
Oh, I'd kill that guy. I'd be
You're
so
right.
mad. Oh, all right. Seattle Seahawks 5th, Tyree Wilson, defensive end. Detroit Lions, Miles Murphy, defensive end. Las Vegas Raiders, Will Levis. This kid's interesting.
He is.
They're comparing him to Buffalo's quarterback there, Josh Allen. Yeah. They said he played hurt all this year, so he didn't have the greatest season, but I guess 2021 was.
But this kid, it's all about his arm strength, his build.
He can run.
It's all they're going off of. They're not really going off the stats or anything like that. So, hey, whatever.
Raiders need a quarterback. They released Derek Carr. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm sorry. Pick number 8, Peter Skoronski.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah. Oh.
Pull one out for Skoronski to the Steelers.
He's guy, man. Damn.
Number 8 overall. Carolina, Anthony Richardson. This kid's interesting too. He's another big arm, athletic. Same thing as Will Levis. Same kind of thing. A little up and down in college for Florida. Good, prospect maybe. 10 is where it gets interesting. The Eagles. I can see this taking Brian Bresee.
Another defensive.
They have a couple free agents, so I can totally see this. Hargrave's a free agent. Brandon Graham might retire. He's a free agent. Yeah. They just reload all over again.
Yeah.
Titans take Paris Johnson as a second tackle off the board.
Damn. It's another good one.
Yeah. Texans take Quentin Johnson, first wide receiver.
Okay.
I heard today, I was listening to the Daniel Jeremiah podcast. As a matter of fact, he has the highest, the sixth highest drop rate in college last year. Like most drop passes per target in the country.
Drop rate, really?
Yeah, that would scare me to pick him in the top 15. I think I might steer clear of that guy. New York Jets 13. Pulling out for me, Broderick Jones. He's my favorite left tackle. He's out. I can totally see him going top 15. Patriots take Joey Porter in this draft. I think. I would say 80% of the mock drafts I've seen have Joey Porter going to the Steelers, so that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers take Michael Mayer, tight end. We talked about him. Okay. Commanders take Devin Witherspoon at 16. I like him a lot.
Oh, man.
Just before the Steelers. I like him a lot.
Physical. I can't see the rest of it, so let me guess. They take the kid from Oregon, the CB.
The Steelers?
Yeah.
Yes. Almost every mock draft I've seen has the Steelers taking a cornerback, which makes sense. I wouldn't be mad at it. I haven't watched. This is one of the few cornerbacks I haven't watched.
Christian Gonzalez, right?
I haven't watched him. He's supposed to be tall, super athletic, fast.
He's very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on Draft Buzz, I think he was the one that should have ran a 4.32.
Yeah.
Kick and move.
Here's the thing about the Steelers. They never draft West Coast guys. Never. Like the last West Coast guy they drafted was Juju. 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
That'd be 5 years ago. 6, maybe.
The last time they took one in the first round.
Troy Polamalu?
I think it was somebody after that. David DeCastro.
Okay.
How long ago was that? That's
2010.
Yeah, 11 years ago.
10 or 11.
So this would be way out of their comfort zone to take a West Coast guy in the first round. It could happen. I don't know. What do you think? Corner, I'd rather see him take a tackle. But if Skorinski and Broderick Jones are off the board, do you waste the first round pick on a tackle?
I don't know. If the top 3 tackles are gone, then no.
Paris Johnson is gone too. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Then you go corner, I guess.
I go corner. Yeah.
I think
I told you one of those top positions is falling to that. To me, it's Witherspoon and Gonzalez. They're 1 and 1A, right?
Yeah.
If you can get one of those 2, I call that a win.
Yep.
That's the way I look at it.
This got me thinking to where Ron's point on the last time we were together, trading down might be the move. Because at this point, Bresee's gone, which is probably likely. The best 3 tackles are gone. Why not trade down?
And I agree with that if the top players on their board, say it is Witherspoon, Gonzalez, those 3 tackles, and your defensive line, if they're all gone, they're gone, then yeah, trade down.
Because the draft drops off at this point, right?
You got all that second tier players that are still really good that you could go stack your team with.
Yep.
That'd be personally great.
I'd be trying to pry someone's number 1 pick for next year out of them if they want to trade up. Like say somebody like Buffalo at the end of the draft, or Kansas City wants to move up.
So you're saying acquire a first round draft pick?
Their first round pick next year, 2024. Because think about it. I was reading today that the 2 quarterbacks in next year's draft, just hear me out. Hear me out. Drake May out of North Carolina and Caleb Williams out of USC. They'd go 1-2 ahead of everybody in this draft. That's how good they are. That's for next year. It gives you some insurance on Kenny. Say Kenny has another concussion.
Sly dog. I did not see you coming with this at all.
I'm just saying. What if he shits the bed in 2023? Is it out of the realm of possibility?
I'm just saying. I love how you did that. Dude, I did not see you coming at all thinking about a quarterback next year.
It's insurance. And if Kenny Pickett has a great season, then you get 2 first-round picks to fill out the roster.
Steeler fans, I apologize. Dave's been drinking.
I have not been drinking.
Wow.
Can you tell me with 100% certainty that Kenny Pickett is the guy?
I think he is. I really do. And here's the thing. So even besides the fact those plays he made, the clutch plays he made, he's busting his ass working right now. Still, like right now as we speak, do you see his videos of him? He's down on the floor, wherever. The kid's busting his ass to get better, like to be elite. And when I see the Super Bowl it hasn't even been over for a week yet, and you're already down in Florida busting your ass getting ready for the new season. It's still 6 months away. That's impressive to me that he's that dedicated to getting better. And look,
nobody questions the kid's work ethic.
So I think he's going to be good, man. I really do. I don't. It's not if we fail, it ain't going to be because of him. It's probably going to be because of our. Well, I'll be nice. I'll just say offensive coordinator. I had a really mean name, really mean thing I was going to call him, but I won't say that on here at least. Yeah. So it's not going to be him. I'll put it that way.
I don't think it's likely it would be him, but I don't think you can dismiss it completely. Not to mention what we talked about earlier, the concussions. He's another 1 or 2 concussions away from being a real issue.
That is worrisome. Yeah.
So I'm not sitting here saying let's replace Kenny Pickett. I'm saying if they trade down and get a first round pick next year, that's good insurance. Does it guarantee you'll be able to get a good quarterback next year? Probably not. But
I was going to say to you, do you understand what they have to give up to get that high of a first round pick? It ain't happening.
But think about it, Dave. If Kenny Pickett's a disaster, quotation marks, does it matter? They have to do everything they can to get a quarterback. The whole thing's screwed up. Everything is built around Kenny Pickett being a franchise quarterback. If he's not, everything else falls apart.
They're not going to be able to get top 2 to get a quarterback next year, Dave. They're going to have to give up. They'd have to give up TJ Watt and a fucking first round pick later in the first round to get up to number 1 overall or number 2 overall.
Well, not necessarily. If Kenny Pickett's a disaster, then they're drafted in the top 10.
Okay, so
and then they have an extra first round pick.
But I'm saying you're trying to do it now, though. You're trying to before they even have the season. You're trying to get up that high of a pick.
No, I'm just saying having the extra pick helps them trade up.
Okay,
gives them ammunition to trade up, no matter where it is.
So you're just talking about having that extra pick that next year they could use in a trade to get moved
up. In a trade, with their own.
I thought you meant that try to acquire that first round.
No. Top. Yeah, no, that's not going to work because they're going to trade.
Yeah, I know. That's why
with someone a good team behind them. Yeah, they're going to trade down, so it's going to be like the Bills or the Chiefs or so that's going to be a late round pick. They'd have to package that with their own, is what I'm saying to get up. It's just a theory. It's insurance.
Hey, look.
You know,
I didn't see this come with you. You came out of left field with it. I like it.
And not to mention
for podcast purposes. All right, cool.
And not to mention, this is what the Eagles do every year. Not for a quarterback, but they trade down all the time to get extra picks.
They do.
This is what they do.
And they are not afraid to make big moves at all.
Yep. Up and down. Yeah. Like every time you go into a draft, it seems like the Eagles have 2 picks.
Yeah. No,
they did last year. Wrong. They traded one for AJ Brown, and they got.
Well, look at them now. They just went to the Super Bowl, and they got like 2 first-round picks.
And they have 2 first rounds again this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's nuts. So
this is what you do. You manipulate the board. You get extra picks.
How much is Andy Weidel really?
That's the thing.
He's doing the board. Going. They said he's running. He's doing the board. Yeah. So I like that. That makes me happy. I just don't know how much is he going to pound the table for a player, and are they going to oblige him or go, "Hey, look, dude, you're like third in charge. Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, he can write in the board. We want
this guy.
Right. Mike Tomlin's going to decide who he wants, and that's that. I mean, he can write anything he wants on the board. We'll see. Hopefully, he's having a little effect, and they listen to him a little bit. All right, we got off on a tangent there. Let's reel it back in. Where were we? I got to pull up the draft again. I got us all. The Detroit Lions at 18 take Kylie Ringo. I think he's more of a Steeler corner than Gonzalez.
So he's got him going up high because he dropped on PFF's board to like third round.
That's 3 corners in a row in this mock draft too. It was Witherspoon, Gonzalez, and Ringo.
So it's going to open up that.
It depends on what you like because that kid's going to test off the charts. Ringo. He's going to run 4.32. He's got good size.
He's honestly a freak. Like when you look at all of his measurements and everything, you're like, holy shit.
19's interesting. Lucas Van Ness.
This is a linebacker. Edge.
He's a defensive, edge. But he's 6'5", 280.
Ooh,
he puts 20 pounds. Yeah, he puts 20 more pounds on. He's a Steelers defensive lineman, right? He's got long arms. He's tall. Don't sleep on him either, being maybe on the Steelers' radar too.
Good.
I mean, bulk that kid up a little bit and let him rush the passer like with Cam. It's a possibility. 20 Seahawks, Brian Branch. This is the guy Tony Serino likes. I watched him a little bit. Kid's a playmaker, man. He's a little small. And he makes some plays. I see why he likes him.
And he said and Tony said he could play corner or safety.
Yep. He played slot and a little bit of corner for Alabama. So and safety too.
Dude, that fit perfect then. Say we bring back Cam Sutton.
And put that kid in the slot.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Now we're cooking.
Another corner, 21. Chargers take Cam Smith. I like him. He kind of, people forget about him. I thought he was pretty good. 21. This is a disaster. 22. The Ravens. The Ravens get Bijan Robinson from Texas, and you pair him.
What is that? Wide receiver?
Running back.
Okay. Like they're going to take a run. They think they're going to take a running back in the first round, like we did.
Yeah. But this guy is elite running. He's not Najee. He's like explosive. Like if you put him in Lamar Jackson,
you've been telling me all season, do not take a running back in the first round. You're defending this.
Well, think about the Ravens and the way they play with that offensive line. And
but they got, I don't understand. They got Dobbins. That doesn't make sense.
Play them both. I don't know.
They need wide receivers at bad.
It says this may raise some eyebrows, especially with the day one receivers, blah, blah. Yeah, he's saying they could, alternate Dobbins and him. He's comparing him to Saquon Barkley. That's what I've heard that before too.
Well, I mean, if he's a first rounder, he better be compared to somebody. It's good.
Minnesota Vikings 23 take my man Jordan Addison. We'll see. I want to see how he tests. I want to see if he runs 4.3. I'm all about it. If he runs 4.5, I jump off fast. I'm like, see you, Jordan. Nice knowing you. Jaguars take Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's supposed to be good but slow. Like not. I don't know.
Somebody said he might run a 4.6.
That's what I'm saying.
Like what? He ain't getting drafted in the first round if he runs a 4.6.
People love
There's
him.
no fucking way.
And Tony was right. He was the best wide receiver on that team with all those good dudes. But
if I'm a team, I'm like, how do you feel about playing tight end?
Yeah. Zay Flowers, 25 to the Giants. This guy's scared. He's small. He's really
fast as hell, though.
Yeah, he is fast. It's Austin all over. The Giants.
Okay.
Cowboys take Osiris Torrance. Makes sense.
Nice.
Good pick for them. Buffalo Bills take my guy, Jahmyr Gibbs. This guy I want in the Steelers so bad. I would draft him in the first round though. Thought he was like
he's like a
second.
He's like a combination of both wide receiver and running back. Correct?
Running back. They say
what's he listed as though?
He's 200 pounds, 5'10", 200. Like he's solid. He's not one of these small guys.
Okay.
And he runs. They say he can run 4.3.
So okay, so he's really fast. All right.
I like him a lot. Rounded out. Bengals take Dalton Kincaid, tight end. I'm surprised they went him there, but Saints take Keon White, an edge rusher. Eagles again take young boy Anton Harrison. So they get Brissy and Harrison in this draft.
Jesus,
if this goes this way, forget it.
Again, trenches just
loading up.
Man.
And the Chiefs to round it out take Jalen Duncan. That's high for him. That's as high as I've seen him. First round.
I haven't seen him go in his second or the first round.
He's a big dude though. He's like 6'6", like 350, I think. He's a big guy. So that rounds it out. It gives you an idea of because this is a guy who talks to NFL guys a lot. So
some of those names are surprising that high.
Yeah, it is surprising to me too. But that's what he's probably hearing from NFL guys. So
yeah,
you have to wait and see. We haven't seen the combine is where they really solidify and they get a real good feeling. Once these guys
Drew Sanders is like way all over the place. Linebacker from Arkansas guy, right? Like you said that one guy, I saw it, 8th.
Zerline had him 8th. Yep.
PFF's boards got him now 93 or whatever.
I saw they dropped him.
I'm like, what in the hell is going on? Like some of these guys are taking drastic either moves up or down.
Yeah.
And he was one of them. I was like, okay. Like,
he only played 1 year at inside linebacker. He was an edge for Alabama, so it's kind of you don't know what he is as a linebacker.
Yeah,
linebacker's weak though. This draft is weak for linebackers.
You think this would be where he'd go up high? I mean, if linebackers are that weak, I would think he'd be. I would put him in the second round. I'd put him in the second round.
Yeah, he doesn't get out of the second round. I would be surprised.
I don't think so.
Very surprised.
That's
if he's there at 49, and the Steelers, I don't know if they can afford to pass up on him.
Well,
at that point, they need linebackers.
I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. It just depends on what they sign in free agency.
Yeah.
To see where they go with this.
Another guy that is all over the place is that kid Cansey from Pitt.
My gosh.
I love him, dude. I don't know if he could do it in the NFL, but I freaking love him.
He jumped from 3rd round projection on PFF's board to, what was it, 8th overall or 3rd? I had it on there. I was just like, what in the hell is going on?
He had him 10th, I think. Go 10th to the Eagles, I think.
Yeah. He's small, but the dude's good.
He's good.
He did really well.
They said he might measure under 6 feet. And I was listening to something where the amount of defensive tackles that have gone under 6 feet is like in the first round is like negative. I don't think it's ever happened.
Yeah, I don't. Damn it, where's it at? I had it. I know I did.
You watch him. He seems like the best defensive lineman, except for maybe Jalen Carter. He's the second best defensive lineman in college. How he'll be as a pro, I don't know. We'll see.
I got it right here. 14th. He moved up to 14th. Ahead of Brissy on PFF's board. I was like, what? Like I had to do a double.
Brissy's another one that's all over.
He is.
I've seen him late first round. I've seen him out of the first round.
Oh, you've seen him not in the first round?
Yeah, I've seen him out in the first round. I think it was Daniel Jeremiah didn't have him in his first round in his last mock. And I've seen him in the top 10 in a lot of mocks.
Brissy was Ron's guy too, wasn't he? Isn't that who you had them take?
Yeah, he liked him a lot too. He had all kinds of issues this past offseason. He got injured. His sister died. His sister was like 15, 16, died of brain cancer or something. So he had a rough last season. So it's hard to judge what kind of player he is off of this season's tape because he's just had an awful year.
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting, we get to see, I love going through these guys' drafts to see what they're hearing and what they're thinking.
No, it is interesting. I wonder when Kuiper will drop his.
He's due for another one pretty soon.
Yeah.
He likes to go off the reservation too, so it's fun to go over his.
Is Mayock with another team? Because I've been really hoping. I've been really hoping he'd come back and start doing this draft stuff. He was fantastic
as a draft. If somebody doesn't hire him for TV for the draft, I'd be shocked.
Oh, NFL Network should bring him back like right now, dude. He was gold for that.
He's definitely one of the better ones for sure.
I enjoyed all of his stuff. Like I'd go in there and I would like memorize his rankings and memorize the notes and all that stuff. He was so good with that stuff. And then the combine and draft day, it was fantastic.
Yeah, he was one of the main combine guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he was great.
He definitely was. Him and the guy that does the TV show that used to be on ESPN. He's really good too on NFL Network. Well, anyway, they had a good combination with those two guys. Pro Day start pretty soon. I think next couple of weeks, and then we get to I can't.
When's the combine? Isn't it soon?
February
isn't it?
28th. It's only a couple weeks away.
Oh hell, that's only like 10 days away. Yeah.
I can't
10 days away.
I love the combine.
Yeah,
I love seeing what these guys run.
Yep.
And what they lift, and it's so much fun.
I like the catching.
Yeah.
I love the drill where they got to run and get thrown from both sides because someone always gets drilled in the fucking face. And it's fucking hilarious. Like, there's always someone, man. I hate to say that I enjoy that, but it's funny as hell. Like, I don't know. I always enjoy it. But
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. That's all I got. Unless you got something else, we can.
No, that's it.
All right. Do you want to do your mock draft for the next podcast? You think you're ready to do another one?
Monday?
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it.
All right. We'll have Dave's mock draft on Monday. It's been a while since you did your last one. All right. I think that'll wrap up our podcast today. You can find me on Twitter at SteelersSanct16. Email the show at daver@SteelersSanctuary.com. Please hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing. That helps us out tremendously. I'm getting back to YouTube stuff, so check us out on YouTube as well. Dave, give them your Twitter handle and your thing, and let's get out.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter on M_Corb. We're on TikTok too, Steelers Sanctuary Podcast, or Steelers Sanctuary Pod. Dude, I'll put everything on there about the podcast, cigars, whiskey, bourbon, all that stuff. Hit me up, man. Like, hit me up on there. Message me. I love talking on there. That's all I got.
All right, man. Until next time, thanks for listening to the Steelers Sanctuary Podcast.